Hi, this is Jay Norris, author of Mastering the Currency Market. Welcome to the report. Before we get to the charts, I do need to point out that trading futures and Forex is a risky endeavor and not suitable for all investors. The charts we're looking at are real-time market snapshots and may not be replicated going forward. The first market we're going to be covering is the Australian US dollar. Aussie USD, another big day on the downside today. You had the breakout yesterday. We identified that. I think you're going to see more of the same here. We were calling yesterday for correction down into that 95 handle, and boy, they're getting there in a hurry, aren't they? I think we're going to see dollar strength on the horizon. I think these bubbles in the yen and the Swissy, however, have to burst first. It's interesting. You see all kinds of erratic behavior as price bubbles are bubbling up, and just before they blow, you'll see traders doing everything they can to raise cash to fight those trends, and in the meantime, a lot of times they'll end up liquidating all their positions in the hopes of trying to save the one. And I think that's what's happening now. You're seeing a lot of selling pressure in the Aussie as traders sell off good assets to support bad, and that's we see that a lot. I've been in this game over 30 years. I worked on the trading floor for over 20 years, and you see that a lot. You see it on the customer side. I've seen individuals doing it. I've been tempted to do it myself. Sell off the good to help you out on the bad, and I think that's what's the case in the Aussie right here, right now. Euro US dollar. I think we're probably seeing a bit of the opposite effect there, where you saw people buying into covering shorts in the euro the last couple of days, but it's starting to tip now. Short-term trend's still higher, though. You see the yellow line, the daily's still up, the weekly's still up, and we'll see how long that holds on to. I do think when you blow these bubbles in the yen and the Swissy, then that will be a call for the tide to turn in favor of the dollar. But it's going to get sloppy in between now and when those bubbles do blow. I think we're close time-wise to a turn. I think price-wise you still have a ways to go. Next market, the pound US dollar. Pound dollar, you're chipping away at that weekly line, aren't you? I'll show you the weekly. That trend line is very important to us, because that's the trend line on the weekly. So you can see you're chipping away. It looks like you're almost below it, or you are below it on the daily. So I think you're going to be in for dollar strength. Here's another one. And, all this may just become exaggerated once they pop the cork in that yen. And I think they're very close to doing that now. It's could get messy, and I think you'll see further. You'll see some back and forth of these markets in the majors right now. But I think overall you're going to see more downside to come. Next market, dollar CAD. Checking in on the CAD here. You saw that big update yesterday. You had to take that seriously. You had another big update. We may not see 95 now. I thought 95 all along, but you may not see that now. You may have, you may be seeing a sea change here in the CAD. Next market, the Chief. The Chief we were talking about yesterday, we were saying, well, maybe time-wise you're close to bottom, but not necessarily price-wise, because this is a bubble. They're going to spike dollar. Oh, look at that. Look at that spike down. That's the bubble now. As this plays out, you're going to see more of that, and they're just taking everyone who's possibly short that Chief, and they're just going to hang them out to dry. Here, I'll show you the future chart of it, so you can see the true bubble here. And that's why there's so much confusion out there. People saying, well, why is the yen so strong? Why is the Swissy so strong, but the Aussie so strong, but the Aussie so weak? Well, that's what you get in bubbles when people are fighting to stay alive. They're selling everything they can. They'll try to defend the exact wrong position. They'll go with their emotions. That's why you don't base your trades on emotions. You base them on price action. Especially when you had this buy signal here, I can't imagine there would have been any reason whatsoever to be short this market. This is your Swiss franc futures. So let's pull back and show you. We'll go all the way out to monthly, and then you start getting a scope of how big the peak on the mountain could be. And it generally has nothing to do with fundamentals, people. It's all emotion at this point. And here's your monthly Swiss franc. The term that comes to mind would be bubble. And there's power laws too. It's it doesn't take much to keep this market going higher at this stage when you're just going to scorch all the shorts. You're going to take all those shorts out of there. And that's what's happening right now. And here's the yen. Let me show you yen future so again you get the scope of the bubble there that we're looking at. This is a yen monthly, so you can almost make the case, well, this guy's just starting to bubble out, right? You know, a big rally like that may take a big peak on there, so it could get ugly, people. Here, let me go back to a daily so you can give you scale. It's a new all-time high. So that's your yen future. I think there's, you know, as I said, maybe time-wise you're close to a bottom, but not price-wise. That's going to have to bubble up. Here, I'll show you the more familiar dollar-yen chart. And we could see 80 didn't hold. I mean, didn't even bounce off it. You would have thought the U.S. afternoon session, it would have, whoa. I'm not sure if that's current or that must have just occurred right now. Yeah, you're in a bubble, people. I mean, there it is. Last time I looked at this chart, wow, look at that. Look at that right now. So there you go. Everyone's capitulating, and that's probably it right there. Look at that, almost 76 you got to. That must have just happened in the last 15 minutes. And that's what we've been talking about. The bubble is in the final stages here, and it's going to take everyone out with it. And I think you're very close to a big turn for the dollar. I think this is all going to be to the benefit of the dollar, despite the dollar weakening against the yen and the Swiss right now. I think the net effect will be dollar friendly, but not until every last yen short, every last dollar yen long has been buried. And it looks like they're in the process of burying them now. Keep in mind, this is a daily chart. I mean, if you look at an hourly chart, just to give you scope, look at that monster of a move. That's just frightening, isn't it? There you go. So they're cleaning the clocks of anyone who's long dollar yen, anyone short yen outright. They're just getting taken out, and it looks like the bubble's bursting. Hey, let's see what effect it's having on the U.S. stock market. And the U.S. stock market, it's you can see you're still above today's lows, interestingly, but it's you know they're taking some heat here. Just to give you some scale on the stocks, we'll see. We'll go back to the July low, and we'll try to extrapolate a retracement up, and we'll see what would be a normal 382 retracement, and you could still see, you know, the market's healthy. It needed a correction, so I'm not as concerned with the U.S. stock market, really. So, hey, very interesting times. Interestingly, you know, we're seeing that bubble in the yen unfold right now. So, long term, I think, as I was saying yesterday, as the fog is starting to clear, I think long term all these developments are going to be dollar bullish. But you're going to have to just wring out every last short in that yen, meaning every last long in dollar yen. They're going to have to capitulate, and it looks like they're capitulating right now. Looks like you're going to see some margin calls. You're going to see some debit balances out there. Hey, thank you very much. My name's Jay Norris. Oh, and by the way, the contest, let me remind you, it's a $3,499 scholarship to Trading U. Check out our blog at trading-u.com/blog and get the details and register for that. We look forward to that. My name's Jay Norris. Thank you very much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.